That was a short film of me pottering about on the shores of Ullswater, and this is the frame I've took from that little film. I was dominated by this big tree. It was silhouetted against the bright sky. You can just about see some of the hills and mountains in the background. I don't think I'll put this one in here because it's right in the middle of the composition and it just looks awkward. So I'm going to leave that out. Everything else looks okay. Nice sweeping shoreline. So let's have a look at the materials. And I've got all the usual gear here. Always have the palette the same way around so I know exactly where the colours are, which are ultramarine blue, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber, light red. We've got the 3 brushes, the large Ron Ransonite, number 3 rigger, 3/4 inch flat. Got our water jar there, tissue if I need it. Cotman watercolours they are, from Winsor and Newton. We have 15 by 11 watercolour paper fixed to a 9mm piece of ply. So a quick look again at the photo before we make a start. So I'm going to start with clean water on the brush. Just pick up a bit of raw sienna and then just nice and straightforward on the paper. Leave little bits of gaps here and there, just adds a bit of character, makes the sky a bit more interesting. And then go into the ultramarine, bit of Payne's grey. I'm just going to brush in from this side here. A little bit on that side. Something like so, and very quickly you've just developed nice little bits and pieces happening all over the paper. Back into the same 2 colours, 3 colours rather, and just about see our mountain in the background, which is something like that, going off, hiding behind the trees and what have you. There's not much of a reflection, but I'll just pop one in there anyway. Always thinks it looks. I always prefer them with rather than without. Although there is another way of. I'll come back to that later on another video. But anyway, for this one, I'm just looking at the photo now. I think that's most of the background in. So if I'll give that a quick dry. In fact, I'll just pull it tight first. Paper's stretched a little bit. So I'll just pull it tight, refix it. Give it a quick dry. It doesn't have to be bone dry. That'll do. Just to stop any little bits of water or whatever flying up. Now, I can't see a lot of green in the picture. So, mind you, it was February. So I'm gonna sure something comes around like that. So we've got some bit of burnt umber, ultramarine, raw sienna, and we've got some trees, something like that. Don't want to overdo that. And then if I switch to the rigger, nice dark colour. We've got some trunks and branches and all sorts giving up there. Oh dear, don't want to go crazy. shoreline. In fact, what I'll do with this water, let's try it this way for a change. Take the sky colours, get it in nice and dark, not too much water, take the excess off on the towel, get the sky colours on the brush. Work out now the horizon's about, well, it is there, isn't it? Brush, nice, not too much water, draw the hairs together, and then put it at a shallow angle like that, and just go. Yeah, I meant to make it break there. I've sort of got it. I haven't done that exactly how I wanted it, but you get the sort of general idea. Yeah. It could have been better, but I'd like to have got it to break right down the middle, but I didn't quite do it right. Anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. So the next thing I'm going to do is get this shoreline in. So I'm going to give that a quick dry. I'll just show you on this one. Now what I meant to do was this sort of thing, get it to break right in the middle. So this paint, it doesn't really work very well because it needs to be darker. The darker the adjacent areas, the lighter the lighter areas. Because obviously the paper's already white, so how do you make it white? How do you make it more sparkly? You make the surrounding areas darker. So that's what I was trying to do. I'll do it on another demo. I'll try and get that one to work properly. But carrying on with the shoreline, I've got ultramarine, just dipping the tips of the ake in. Don't want too much water, but I just want to keep the hairs together. So raw sienna, ultramarine, something like, maybe a bit dark, a bit of Payne's grey in there as well, really darken it up. And just a bit more water, let the paint come off the brush a bit easier. Something like that. We're going to have a big tree about there. Now here there's a wall, so I might put that in next. So what should we do the wall? I want wall, burnt umber, ultramarine. Just get it in nice and dark. Again, only just enough water to keep the hairs together on your brush here. And then we'll sort of, the wall's going to be about like that, something like that. And then I think there's just a hint of a bit of grass on the top of it. And then what I might do, we just suggest a few little bricks and stuff. Not too many, it's only a suggestion. That's enough. And then behind that we've got put a little. Yeah, I've done that one in the wrong place. So I meant to put it behind the wall. Pop that grass back in. That'll do for that. And then clean the brush, raw sienna, just somewhere for the bottom of those trunks to sort of hang out. Add a few more limbs to those trees. There. Now then, the shore sort of sweeps around, something like so. Just trying to get a bit of variation into this foreground as well. Maybe in a few little bits of grasses growing by the side. Now then, for this, the big one. Again, back in with a nice dark colour, just enough water on the eye to hold everything together. And then let's start something like. You can use the rigger to do this if you want, but it's a lot quicker with the ike. I'll try and save the rigger just for the finer details. So that's the sort of main structure, and then switch to the rigger. Back into the dark mix, plenty of water, lots of water, and then just start adding some of the little finer and when the paint stops coming off the brush, you need to add more water as well as more paint. Just keep popping them in. And you can always, if you want to do a whole load of twigs in one go, just get a clean brush, scuff it right up so that your hairs are going all over the place, and then just dip lightly into the colours you've been using. A bit of raw sienna, burnt umber, ultramarine, and we can just put a whole load in one go. I'll give that a quick dry. Just put a big little. Just felt like sticking a few rocks down there. Just a few more here and there. That'll do for that. Give that a quick dry. And I think it's missing a few shadows, so if we just go for a nice shadowy colour, back to the hike, if we say light red and ultramarine, fair bit of water, you don't want it too strong, because you want to be able to see the colours underneath the shadows, and then just get it all on. Well mixed. This is one of those occasions where you do want it well mixed, you don't want all those little subtle differences in the colours. Now, back at the photo, got some shadows coming off here. There's a few under there, and then don't need too many, really. Because all this area is in light, so it's only the bit underneath. I think that'll do it. Maybe a few on there. Give that a quick dry. Just needs a focal point. I might just put a little boat. There's not one in the photo, but there's nothing stopping you from sticking one in. It's your painting, you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to switch to the rigger. Back to the rigger. Clean, but not too much water on it. Just damp. And don't slap it right bang in the middle. Just put it just off centre, somewhere where it mind you, there's not much space, is there really? We've only got the sort of centre bit. If I just say, would anyone notice it there? I don't know. I might just stick him about there. Remember, it always works best where you got a sort of darker bit. You get more contrast that way, but I don't know whether to put it there or there. I'm going to stick it there. It's too dry. So you can see, because that background's not very dark, it's not going to show up very well. But this was even lighter, this area. So just take out sort of triangular shape sail. Get back to the white of the paper. Take it off with a tissue, and then you can just put the pop the bottom bit in. There's our little boat on the horizon. Just gives a little focal point to the thing, adds a bit of life. Always add a bit more life by suggesting a couple of birds up there somewhere. Somewhere we'll stand out, maybe one there. One there. Another one there. Try not to fiddle about with what I'm doing. Don't like that at all. So if you don't like something, you can always just wet it with a bit of the clean brush, a bit of tissue, preferably a clean tissue, not like I'm using here. And it sort of, you can get rid of it then. Like your own little, say like a little eraser. Wet it and then just take it out with a tissue. Obviously, the dirtier your tissue is like this, the less absorbent it is. Try and use a clean tissue whenever you can. Unless of course you want that effect. If you're doing clouds and you don't want to go extremely white, that's when that would come in handy. So sticking with the rigger. And then somewhere down here out of the way, just pop your signature. And I'll call that one done, I think. So here's our finished painting. Let's have a quick look at the photograph. See, I didn't quite get it as dark and create that sort of silhouette effect, which I suppose I could have done a bit better at. I think it works better without that thing in the middle. The rest of it's very much the same really, apart from the colours, but the composition it's very similar. You can see on the left we've got this big mass of trunks and branches. You can see you can use the rigger if you like, but I'd like to just get it in with the hake. A little boat peeping through the trees there just helps add a bit of life to it. A few scrapes with the card suggest our war, also a few rocks and pebbles on the beach just to break up the colour on the beach. Well, I hope you like that. Thanks for watching, keep practising. Any questions please ask, and I'll see you again soon.